Yeah, it's wartime. What? Yo, don't let me into my zone. 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 I'm already in my zone. What? Okay. What's up, guys? What's up? King of Lightning, ready for war. My apologies on the late video because I had to take care of some things and, well, life. But, I should have done this earlier, but, yeah. Actually, this actually worked out really well because now I got to see everyone's opinions, everyone else's takes on this, especially the opposing team with J-Man as their leader. But you know, doesn't matter because this is a fucking fairy tale. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go and basically first I'm gonna state a lot of things in comparison with Fairy Tail and him and Reborn. And then, yeah, so basically, you know what, let me just go down and because I have a lot of things I want to talk about, alright? A lot. So, and the reasons as to why I feel that Fairy Tail, in my opinion, runs roughshod on him and Reborn. So, the first thing I want to talk about is character development, alright? When you take a look at the main characters, right, and then this involves, and then, you know what, let me just cross off 2 points right here, right? Lambo and Ryohei. First of all, let me get to these two guys, right? Lambo and Ryohei suck. Alright, Lambo is his whole entire character build is horrible. Alright, he's a joke character. You can't take him serious. Even when he's fighting, you cannot take this guy seriously at all. Lambo as a character concept is a horrible character. He really is a bad character. I'm a baby and I'm the Vongole Thunder Guardian, or I'm the Vongole, yeah, I'm the Vongole Thunder Guardian. I'm a baby. And guess what? I can't use my full power unless I get shot with a bazooka that sends me 10 years into the future. That is a horrible, god-atrocious concept. It's like, why? Like, what is that? That is a horrible concept. Lambo is a horrible character. And then we have Ryohei. And then I'm not talking about the Ryohei in the future because again, I don't consider the future themselves. See, I don't consider their future counterparts the actual characters, because now that they're back in the past, or now that they're back in their own time period, now it's a different timeline because the Shimon family entered and etc. So Ryohei technically only won one fight, and that was at the beginning with the whole entire Varia thing. After that, he's either lost or tied. In this arc, he lost to Hibari, quick, and he's out of the competition. He's out of the competition for good. And then he tied with the guy with the earth, with the flame of the forest. He tied with that guy. With the 6 feudal wraiths, he lost to that one guy. Or no, that one guy was about to beat him. I mean, Ryohei had him overpowered, but the guy was gonna beat him anyway. Ryohei is not up to snuff. The only two characters, in my opinion, that actually get good development, not only in a combat sense, but also in a personality sense, and in their persona, are Yamamoto and Gokudera. Those two get great development. J-Man, you're right. Those two get great development, but Ryohei, no. Rokudo, we don't see Rokudo that often, so no. Hibari is just Hibari. He just goes around, I'm going to bite you to death. No in-depth personality whatsoever. He just, I'm going to go around and bite you to death. When you take a look at the Fairy Tail side, look at the Fairy Tail 4 main characters. All of them are developed very well thus far, alright? Lucy and her father's situation, and then her mother's situation, that's very well developed. And then her her relationship with the celestial spirits, that's very good. Natsu is also very well developed. People always say, yeah, it's the dragon and the dragon and the dragon. What about his relationship with Lisana? Oh, yeah, the scarf is the most developed thing about Natsu. No, his relationship with Lisana. Hello, it's like, my God, people always forget about the Lisana thing. It's like, no, that relationship is very well developed. All right, that development for Natsu is also very well developed. It really is. And of course, the Neil thing, the Guild Arts thing, very well developed. Gray, I need to say anything else. Gray, Ultier, his master, Leon. Period, end of story. Very well developed. And Erza is like queen of development in Fairy Tail. Erza is very well developed, insanely well developed. The most developed character in Fairy Tail. And those are the 4 main characters. If you want to include Wendy, Wendy also gets her development. So does Panther Lily. Panther Lily absolutely, and Charlie, the female cat. She also has development. Very good development. Very good development. Happy got a little bit in the Elos thing with his parents, but not that much. But they're very well developed. They really are. The only one who's not that well developed is Gagio. Gagio, we don't know much about him, with the exception of the fact that he's a spy and that now he is, working undercover and etc. So we don't really know much about Gagio, but that's it. When it comes to the main characters, they're very well developed in Fairy Tail, as opposed to where in Hitman Reborn it's just Goku Dera, and Suna's not well developed because he's like, the only thing we know about Suna is that Suna, he loves this girl, okay, not a big deal, and his father wasn't really there in his childhood, which it's okay, but not huge. It's not monumental. But ultimately, he's still a bitch. So whatever. So yeah, first of all, character development, in my opinion, Fairy Tail characters are way better developed. All right, that's number 1. All right, with the exception of Yamamoto and Goku Dera, those 2 are good developed. Right now, the next thing, okay, a series starts on chapter 1. Not chapter 62, chapter 1. Now, I know a lot of people on the Reborn side have been avoiding the situation. They've really been avoiding it, ducking in and out, trying to dodge, like, what, no. Screw that, all right? I'm going to hit you with a freaking cannon. Watch this, all right? Now, a series starts on chapter 1, and then Fairy Tail definitely has the better start, without a doubt. However, here's the thing I want to talk about, all right? The characters in Hitman Reborn were already introduced and somewhat developed by chapter 15. Okay? So then what was the point of the rest of the chapters? Because here's the thing, the rest of the chapters were there to promote their school life, alright? How they interact with people in school, Ryohei and the boxing club, Yamamoto and the baseball club, also Suna and his relationship with other people, Hibari and his discipline thing, and also Goku Dera and how Goku Dera is really, really smart and he's really good in school, but at the same time he's really, like egocentrical in a way. But the thing about it is that it doesn't really matter, considering the fact that they don't spend a lot of time in school. The main focus of the story is not school life. The main focus of the story is mafioso. That's the main concept of this story. So the problem here is, what's the point of developing their school life when the only time they're in school is for like maybe 2 chapters, and that's just to transition from arc to arc? The answer is simple. After chapter 15 in Hitman Reborn, from chapters 15 to 62 becomes Bonafide Troll. Bonafide Troll. Because she's developing relationships in school that don't mean shit. She is developing their school life when it doesn't mean shit, because the majority of the story takes place out of school. And think about it, when you take a look at the main fights, Rokudo, they fought in some abandoned apartment somewhere, or some like abandoned, like his base, all right. Zanzus, they fought at nighttime. They fought Zanzus at nighttime in the schoolyard. Not so again, that doesn't mean shit. Byakuran was in the future. Doesn't mean shit. And Damon, they fought. Oh no, yeah. Damon, they fought in some like remote island along with the Shiwon family. So what's the point of developing their school life? And again, do not use the future reference, because the future characters are not the current characters. The current characters are now going through a different timeline. They are going to a different timeline. If you can't understand that, then like I don't know, because it's very simple. The future Goku Dera is now not the Goku Dera that's going, because Goku Dera is going to be someone else now because of the Shimon family introduced and their new Vongole gears and etc. So no, that doesn't count at all. Now, the next, so the Lambo thing I got Lambo, Ryohei got rid of. Okay, here we go. Next point, the third point. Now, if you notice, all right, Natsu and Suna are basically in the two general types of main characters. Now, J-Man did say this in his video, but I'm going to say it too. There are two types of main characters, right? There is the I'm really stupid or I'm really oblivious type of main character, but I still have my moments. And then there are the types of main character in shonen. And then there's also the type of I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch, but I'm gonna man up when my friends need help type of person. All right. Suna is in the second part. Natsu's in the first part. Me personally, I prefer. Now I'm not saying that all the shonen characters are like this. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying that there are two general categories, right? And then there are people that fall outside those categories completely, all right? Now, however, Natsu is in the second category, and that's why people think that Natsu is almost exactly like Luffy. But I'm like, no, because then if that was the case, then so would Goku, so would Gon, so would a lot of the characters that kind of fit that same genre of I'm an idiot or I'm oblivious, but you know I have my moments, all right? Now. And kind of Naruto. Naruto would kind of fit in that category too. But here's the thing though, okay? Yeah, because Natsu and Luffy, they're not alike except for that one thing. That's it. That's really it. I mean, the whole entire friendship thing isn't like almost all shonen, including him and Reborn. So I don't know. That's kind of stupid. But let me tell you what is really bugging me about Suna. Tsunayoshi. He fits his general stereotype. He fits his general character. But there's another character that's almost exactly like Suna. Not only in personality, but in appearance. And that character is Senna. Kobayakawa Senna from Eyeshield 21. Eyeshield 21 is not a shonen. However, the character concept of Tsunayoshi comes directly from Senna. Not only in personality, but from appearance. If you look at these two individuals, they look almost exactly the same. With the exception of Senna has more browner hair. And that's it. And this series is a football manga, but it's a very good series. I recommend it. Right now, at the beginning, they also have the same background where it's like you know, like I was always alone, I was always bullied, I was always called like a no good, I'll be nobody in my life, I'm a failure, and etc. It's the same concept these two individuals have. The same concept. Same exact concept, same exact look, same exact personality. Senna is Suna. Suna is Senna. It's just that Senna came first. So if you want to know where Suna's concept comes from, just watch Eyeshield 21. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. These two characters are almost exactly the same. Senna was first. So Suna, because see, I know that J-Man is you know, heavily into the whole entire, well, Gildarts is just like Shanks. But we don't see Gildarts for shit. But the main character we see all the time. And for someone like me, who saw Eyeshield 21 first, I'm like, this motherfucker Suna looks so familiar. Who is this guy? Oh my god, he's freaking Senna. Like, yeah, exactly. That's what I feel. Gildarts, not a big deal. In fact, you know what? Let me actually defend Fairy Tail in this sense. The only difference between Gildarts and Shanks is that, well, see, I know that people think that, you know, because Gildarts also fits a father role in Natsu, but he doesn't, right? The father role for Natsu is Igneel, alright? As where Luffy, Shanks is the person that motivated him towards his dream. Natsu just respected Gildarts. That's it. Natsu just respected Gildarts. He looked up to him, right? But like Natsu didn't get any dreams or any goals from Gildarts. No, none of that, alright? None of that. Now, the next point, next point. Okay, here we go. This is a key point in him and Reborn in comparison to Fairy Tail. A key point. When we take a look at Fairy Tail, in him and Reborn, the sense of training is lost. There's a lost sense of training. Now, let me explain, right? In Fairy Tail, I know people get pissed off with the power-ups, and so do I. The power-ups for me get annoying, but that's only because I am used to the whole entire training concept. I've seen so many anime where the characters have to train and develop their skills in order to become stronger. All right, and then when I see Natsu and the guys get these power-ups, it kind of, you know, pisses me off a little bit. All right. Actually, no, it makes me mad. All right, it makes me mad, right? However, this concept was introduced at the beginning of the series, because the thing about it is that Fairy Tail, the guild members were already strong. They were the second strongest guild at the start of the series. All right, they were the second strongest guild in Fiora, and then they beat Phantom Lord, and then they became the top guild in Fiora, the numero uno top guild. All right. Now, in the main fights where we see with Natsu, we see a lot of power. We see a lot of like power ups where he eats the Ethereon, and then he gets power ups from Jalal and etc. So the power up system was there early on in the series. Now the difference here is that in Hitman Reborn, there was a sense of training. These characters train in order to develop their skills because they didn't start off like top tier. They started off like at the bottom of the barrel. Like they had to hone their flames, they had to train, etc. That's the way it worked for them. However, now when we take a look at Hitman Reborn, there is this constant notion of power-up, which is completely the opposite notion of training. Completely. Let's take an example. In the middle of the background fight, the Vongolays, the first generation of Vongolay come out of nowhere, and then they give these guys power-ups. In the middle of the background fight. After that, the Shimon beats them. The Shimon family beat them. Their rings get destroyed. But this guy with the blood of the Vongolay comes in and power ups and gives them another power up for their gears. And then the last power up, Suna gets a combination of the Sky Ring and the Earth Ring, and then he gets the Oath's Flame. That's 3 power ups. 3 power ups in a row with no training whatsoever. There is a lost sense of training. There is a lost sense of development. It's lost. It's gone. It's not there. The only person who actually trains hardcore, and actually is successful is Yamamoto. Yamamoto honed his skills as a samurai, as a swordsman. He trained with Squardo and etc. So Yamamoto is training, but that again is lost because he got 2 power-ups in a row. Suna got 3 in a row. There is a lost sense of training. Whereas in Fairy Tail, it was dictated early on. In Hitman Reborn, that wasn't the case. But then Akira, the girl who makes Hitman Reborn, she said, "Fuck it, we're gonna have power-ups." No, that doesn't suit well with me at all. It does not. No, absolutely not. So that's number 3 or number 4. Yeah. So the next point. Okay, they do not push their female characters. All right, this is number 5. They do not push their female characters. I believe so. Now, this is the problem with me. All right. Now, why? Because they had a female character. Her name was Chrome or Trome, Chrome, I believe. She was the Vongolay Mist Guardian. And she is in that sense, because here's the thing. See, people say that she's not because it is Rokudo, and I agree. But here's the thing. When Rokudo was entrapped in the Vindis, and then they were fighting the Shimon family, if you remember, every time one of the Guardians lost their pride, they would show you a memory flashback of the first Vongolay and the first Shimon. Well, the memories went to Chrome, not Rokudo, and that to me is a clear sign that they considered Chrome to be the Mist Guardian. Okay, not Rokudo, Chrome or Trome, whatever name is, right? And don't tell me because there was a barrier. No, because Yamamoto was outside that barrier, and he was still getting the memories. Right, he was still getting the memories. You can look back in the Shimon arc. He's getting the memories, and then so is Trome, so is Trome. So that to me shows that she is considered a guardian or a substitute guardian, whatever. All right, now Akira could have pushed her, but she didn't. She didn't. She did not push Trome or Chrome, and that to me is a no. That to me is a no because it's bullshit. All right, none of the females actually get their push. That one Akabaleno in the future, she got no push time whatsoever. None. Zero. There's one Earth chick, forgot her name. She's the Earth Glacier user, and she is a villain, but again, she didn't get that much of a push. Not a big push. Only her relationship with Jewel. That thing was like pushed, and that was it. The girls get no significant push time, which actually brings up the next point. And the next point is going to be that Fairy Tail trends towards both girls and guys. All right, you have guys that have washboard abs that look very fit, have good physique, and they appease women. As opposed to that, you have girls that have nice figures, nice busts, and etc., and they appease the guys, tits and ass. That's right. Now, sometimes Hero does over fucking, like he does, excel a little bit in the fan service. Yeah, fine. But I'd rather have that than have guys that look like really, really girly guys and babies. The problem here is that Hitman Reborn trends towards females. All right? The simple fact of the matter is that because they don't push their females, no guy like me is going to be able to actually see a nice looking female all the time. Not her, not the Mist Guardian, not the Glacier Guardian, none of the, no. We're not going to, because Akira does not push these females. She doesn't. The only ones who actually get push time are the men. And the way the men are drawn are very, very feminine. And sometimes you get this very strong yaoi vibe, like, yo, like these two might as well make it out. Like, yeah, like these two might as well make out because it's very strong yaoi vibe. And also, then also the babies, they're meant to look cute and adorable, and it's like, you can't say that because the show has blood or because the show has action, you can't say that it's not trended towards girls. No, because I know a lot of girls who are into the horror, they're into the blood, they're into the gore, they're into the action. So no, I know a lot of girls, and that's not the case, all right? But the characters, when it comes to the character design, and the character push, because again, Akira has no desire, or she has shown no desire of pushing her female characters. None. They all get shafted and put to the side, and then they all wind up relying on the men. Whereas in Fairy Tail, there is an equality between the men and the women. Okay? You can have a chick who really enjoys Fairy Tail and really enjoys looking at Natsu, Gray, and all the other fake guys that look really washboard and etc. Where you can have guys watch Fairy Tail and then you can enjoy the fan service, alright? You can enjoy that. Whether it's too much or not, you can still enjoy it. Alright? Tits and ass all the way. Problem here is that, again, I'm gonna say one last time, Hitman Reborn tends to trend towards females in that because again, sometimes there is that yaoi feeling, like a really strong yaoi, and then also they have the character design, the really girly guys, kind of glittery, and then also there's the babies. The babies are very cute, they're very adorable, and then look at Natsu. The main characters are Vongole box. Natsu is supposed to be a lion, but he's cute, he's fluffy, he's adorable. It trends towards females. Alright? I'm not saying that guys don't like it. I'm just saying that the show definitely trends towards females when it comes to design. Definitely. So that's one thing I prefer Fairy Tail. Because Fairy Tail character designs trend towards both guys and girls. And also their push trends towards guys and girls. While in Hitman Reborn, the push and the design trend towards females and solely females. Solely. Alright. That's the next point. What else is there? Okay. Yes. Okay, here we go. Alright. The next point is going to be, and this is good. This is really good, alright? The next point is that the villains in Fairy Tail are better than the villains in Hitman Reborn. Let me explain to you why. The villains in Hitman Reborn always follow the same three trends, alright? Either they turn good, they turn tweener, or they get justified. Now let me explain, alright? Tweener is they're not good, they're not bad, but they'll still help you out regardless, alright? That's a tweener, right? That's a wrestling term, right? Tweener, alright? Now take a look at let's go arc by arc, alright? Let's take a look at all of the villains in Hitman Reborn. Roguro Muguro turned tweener, meaning that he's good and he's bad, alright? He is the Vongole Mist Guardian, henceforth, and because Chrome and him share that role, and also, as the Vongole Mist Guardian, he is duty bound to protect or to assist the Vongole in their time of need. Thus, he goes in there and he helps the Vongole. If he was still a villain, he wouldn't do shit about it. Now, would he? No, absolutely not. There'll be no need to, because he's the villain. Alright? He would just focus on getting the fuck out. Now, the thing is, that to me would be okay if it didn't happen so often, but it happens in every major villain in the series. Now, Zanzis, once again, after his fight, turned tweener. He's not bad, he's not good. He still hates Sawada. I mean, he still hates Tsunayoshi, but at the same time, he is duty-bound as the leader of the Varia to assist the Vongole in times of need. He is duty-bound. So, that being said, he's good and he's bad. But again, it kills his villainy concept of being a straight-up villain. The same thing with Rogu, though. It kills their villainy concept when they can go out there and they can do good stuff. They're not villains, they're antagonists. So those two are antagonists. Now, Byakuran. Byakuran in the future was a great villain. In my opinion, their best villain thus far. Alright? Byakuran is a villain who went in there, fucked shit up. It was nasty, it was disgusting. He had a mindset, he was evil to the core, and that to me was amazing. Because he was the first legit villain they had. But here's the problem. In the previous arc, in the Shimon arc, Byakuran comes back, the younger Byakuran comes back, and he heals Yamamoto. What? That kills his, and now they have an alliance with the freaking Byakuran, with the Byakuran group in the 6 feudal wraiths? Are you, what? No. That kills his concept. Now he's tweener. Now he's antagonist. The future Byakuran what was a damn good villain. But now the same character, in a younger character, is now tweener. He's now, it kind of kills the concept. So now he's not that much of a villain anymore. Now he's more of a hardcore antagonist. So that to me is a no. And then we have Damon. Damon, a good villain, a pretty solid villain. But here's the problem. As soon as he's about to die, he gets justified with his flashback about why he did what he did. And the Shimon family, who were villains, wind up turning good. The same thing with most of the Varia, wind up turning good. The same thing with the guys in the future, with the guy with the glasses, the Ishiri. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot his name. The one with the ring of light. Yeah, I forgot his name completely. But yeah, they're turning good. Damon got justified. He got justified. That's bullshit. You don't want to justify your villain. You don't want to justify your villain as soon as they die. That's a Kubo move. That's a Taite Kubo move. Kubo. No, we don't do that. And here's the thing. The fairy tale villains are better because the fairy tale villains are evil. They're legitimately evil. They do evil things. Why? Because they do it for the sake of evil. They're evil. They're evil. Hades, the leader of Phantom Pain. The leader of Phantom Lord, the leader of the Irajian 6, Zero, the King of Edelos. These are evil motherfuckers. They go out there and they do evil shit. And that's why they're evil. And that's why they're good villains. Evil for the sake of evil. I will say it so many times as this channel progresses. Evil for the sake of evil. Don't justify. Don't say, I did this because, and then start bawling and tearing up. No, you're a villain. Evil because you want to do it. Byakuran was evil because he was just evil. He's like, I want world domination. Screw it. And then he comes back, heal time, and it's like, okay, fine. So now you're an antagonist. It's like, no. So the villains, in my opinion, in Fairy Tail outshine the villains in Hitman Reborn. Alright, because in Fairy Tail, it's evil for the sake of evil, and in Hitman Reborn, it's either turn good, turn tweener, or get justified. No, I don't play that shit. I'm sorry. The last point I need to make is that Tsunayoshi as a character has no goals. For a majority of the series, he has no goal. He's just there. He's just going along. Natsu has a goal, so that's automatic. Alright, so Natsu is automatically, in the sense, better than Tsunayoshi because he has a goal Yes, and I'm saying it, right? I'm saying it, right? No, and then let me explain to you why this is stupid. For Tsunayoshi, this is actually insanely stupid, right? And let me explain to you why, okay? Tsunayoshi did not have a goal for the longest, so he wanted to be like Ichigo. In the sense that Ichigo really had no goal, Tsunayoshi also has no overall goal. However, I think during the Shimon thing, very recently, he finally got a goal. And that goal was to make the Vongole like they were in the past with the Primo. Make the Vongole fight for justice in that sense, you know, like help out people, not like a full-blown not like a full-blown mafia, but like a ragtag group that just go out there and like assist people and etc. You know, for like be friends and etc. That's his goal, all right, to make the Vongole mafia and turn them back into what the Primo wanted them, and being just friends, like a group of people that help other people. All right, that's what he wants to do. Here's the problem: Tsunayoshi does not want to be the Vongole boss. He does not want to accept his role as a leader. What the fuck? What the fuck? The Primo accepted his role as the leader of this group of individuals. He accepted his role as the leader of the group of individuals, the Vongole. Suna wants to do the same thing the Primo did, but he's not accepting his role as leader. If you don't accept your role as leader, how are you going to fulfill your goal as to help or create this Vongole of nice guys? Like how are you gonna do that? Because the Vongole consist of not only your friends, but also the Varia, also your dad and his group, and other people that consist of the Vongole family. But if you want to change this Vongole family into this bond of friendship, then how is that gonna happen if you're not the leader? I'm not saying that they need to go out there and call him Dechimo or the 10th. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that Tsunayoshi has to accept his goal as a leader. And he's not doing that. It's like, in the sense of goals, he took 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It's like, no, it's not going to work, man. You have to accept your role as a leader if you want to make a change. So in that sense, automatically Natsu's better, because Natsu is actually going out there and trying to find clues and trying to find ideas of what happened to his father / Master Igneel. So where we at? I'm just saying the truth. Now, what I do want to do is that those are the comparisons between him and Reborn and Fairy Tail. And now what I do want to do is that I want to go on the defensive with Fairy Tail and defend my shit. So first of all, Fairy Tail does have a better overall world than the world of Reborn. It really does, automatically, right? And a better sense of mythology, all right? In Reborn side, the only thing you have is the past of the Vongoles, and that's it. Especially the Dechimo. I mean, especially with the Primo and the Dechimo, because those two are like the same like type of it's kind of weird how you guys should know, it's like they kind of like transition in that sense, where like they're kind of the same people, but they don't go into the past of the second, of the third, of the fourth, of the fifth. No, none of that. So no. And also the world of Him and Reborn is very generic. It's very, like, here's the world, here's a basic Japanese city, and then they fight in this Japanese city for a while, and then they go fight in the future thing was good. That was really good, and then they come back and then they find a random island, all right? Just a random island in the middle of the ocean. So, not really too impressive, all right? But in the same time, we look at Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail, the world of magic, obviously, that's a giant world of magic where we have not seen most of. But we're getting into it, like right now in this arc, we're gonna go to this like crazy tournament. Hello, and then also we have the mythology of the dragons, of strange creatures, of gods, etc. Come on now, like that's automatically better. The celestial world, Hello, Edolas is in the same relation as to Reborn in the future. Whereas in like Reborn, they went to the future. In a Fairy Tail, it's Earthland and Etelos, two parallel worlds. That's automatically better. And in Etelos, look at the world. Etelos world is completely different than Earthland world. Earthland is magic is overflowing, magic is abundant, but Etelos magic is depleting. They're in dire need of magic. It really is, the world of Fairy Tail is just a much better overall world. Whereas in A Hitman Reborn, a lot of it is very generic. Either it's an island, a city, and that's it. The only thing that was original or unique was that when they went to the future. That was it. That was it. All right. So right there, Fairy Tail has the Hitman Reborn beat. Next thing, okay, yeah, the One Piece thing. The One Piece copying of Fairy Tail. Again, look, Suna and Senna. The only thing that Suna and Senna, two people, two exactly the same people, right? Exactly the same. And in Fairy Tail, the only comparison between Luffy and Erza. I mean, no, Luffy and Erza. Luffy and Natsu is that they fit the same genre category of that we're idiots and that's it. That's it. We're idiots. Or we're oblivious. They fit that same genre and that's it. People say that Gray is like Zoro. I'm like, Gray is like Zoro? What? What? Gray is nothing like Zoro. Not even close. Not even close. People say Erza. No. People say that Lucy is like Nami. I'm like, why? Yeah, because they both have big tits. I'm like, do you guys see anime and manga today? Like, what? Big tits doesn't mean shit. That does not mean shit. How are Erza and Nami alike? Exactly. They're not, alright? They're the main supporting females. Big freaking deal. If that was the case, then Sakura would be just the same way. But she's not. So, no, screw up. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Happy is like Chopper. Because they're both small? Like, come on. Like, where are we guys going with this? Happy's like Chopper. Like, no. It's very stupid. It's very, 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 very stupid. Very stupid, right? Very stupid. The only guys who look the same, who act the same, are Gildarts and Shanks. And even then, there's actually a huge difference between Shanks and Gildarts. So no, all right. But look, the thing is that honestly, that comparison it's a no-go. All right. The characters may seem similar, but in all honesty, they're not. All right. I mean, Gray and fucking Zoro, like that is retarded. That's so stupid. Like really, like wow. All because no. And then people want to say, oh yeah, because they have gags. How Zoro, how everyone in One Piece, the main characters, how they all have gags. Well, guess what? Like not almost, but a few characters in Fairy Tail have gags too. Like how Gray has to like take off his shirt all the time, and you know how Lucy thinks she's sexy and etc. But it's like, well then so do the characters of Hitman Reborn. They have gags too. So where are we going with this? Oh, Hibari. Oh, I can't be around people, or I can't be in groups. Otherwise I'm gonna get hives. I'm like, that's a gag right there. Ryohei to the extreme, 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 to the extreme. Gag right there. Lambo is a walking gag. Oh my god, when someone hits Lambo, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. And he starts bawling. Really? Dino is a gag. Oh my god, I'm Dino and I'm really strong, but if my mafia, or no, correction, if my brothers aren't around me, then I'm weak as shit. Like what? That's a gag right there. So where are we going with this? Goku Dera? Oh my god, I can't look at my sister's face, because if I do, then I'm gonna be poisoned, or like I'm gonna feel sick. Like, so the gag thing is stupid. All right, how these characters? Because the only characters that you can say are legit in comparison with One Piece are Shanks and Gildarts, and that's it. That's it. Natsu and Luffy fit the same general type. Natsu's not eating a shit ton of food, is he? No. He's not stretching, is he? No. So, like, where are we going with this? Is his hair black? No. Does Luffy breathe fire? No. So, what the fuck? Is Gray a 3-sword style master? No. Does Lucy know command of weather? No. Like, what the fuck are we going? It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. I'm like, no. So no. That's retarded, right? I mean, maybe some concepts are taken, yeah. But then again, people take concepts from other stories all the time, right? I mean, look at this. Hunter x Hunter. King and Cell. Like, oh my god. That's like pure copyright, but I'm just saying. King and Cell, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z. Look those two up. And you'll be surprised. Alright. Come on. Oh my god. It's like One Piece. Oh, wow. Alright. Next concept. The gags, yeah. Develop. Okay, yeah. A few pet peeves with me and him and Reborn that actually really annoy me with him and Reborn. A few pet peeves. The first pet peeve is that the brave pill. No, that I hate it. I'm Tsunayoshi and I need to take a pill in order to be brave so I can fight for the longest. In this arc, it took him 350 plus chapters. No, 360 plus chapters in order for him to stop taking the brave pill. Wow. That's something. Next, baby curse. Wow. No. I mean, I can, like, imagine that, like, instead of actually having the baby curse in order to appease women, why don't we have a curse where, like, they have no faces or some shit like that, you know, like, make it a little more interesting, not babies, alright? No, the baby curse, really? A curse for babies? No, that's horrible. That's a horrible idea. Only to appease girls. Hibari has no personality. He's the strongest guardian they got. And all he does is walk in there, say, I'm gonna bite you to death, fuck shit up, and walks out. That's Hibari's entire thing. No personality at all. Walks in there, bites to death, walks out. You can go back and look. Walks in there, bites to death, goes out. Fuck shit up and leaves. That's Hibari in a nutshell. That's what he is. Next thing. The fights in my opinion are, like, they're okay. Maybe like 1 or 2 good fights and that's it, right? The Yamamoto Genkishi fights, Yamamoto against Genkishi, those fights are like, yo. Those fights are very good. But then after that, it's like, no. The fights are okay. They're okay at best. In my opinion, Fairytale fights are actually better. Alright, Luxus, this dude, I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, the fights in Fairytale are better than the fights in him and Reborn. Alright, that's all personal opinion, but again, for me personally, Fairytale fights over Reborn fights. My opinion, all my opinion. Alright, next opinion. The Mafia in Japan. That to me is like, no. Because the Mafia dominated in Italy, and they dominated in New York and in Chicago back in the day. Why are they in Japan? Yakuza run Japan. I always wonder, I'm like, okay, fine, so if the Mafia are so prevalent in Japan, why aren't they beefing with the Yakuza? Where the fuck are the Yakuza? Where the fuck are the Yakuza? That to me is like, no. It's so weird. Because Yakuza run Japan roughshod. They run this to this day. To this day, they dominate Japan. So it's very strange. No. Next thing. Okay, yeah. And the last thing is that the time arc, people, please do not consider development for the future characters development for the current characters. Because the current characters are going through a completely different timeline, a completely different time zone. Alright, well, what we saw in the future arc is not going to happen ever. Ever. So no. No, because because in the future arc, there was no Shimon family, there was no Overflame, there was no Vongole Gears, none of that. So it will not happen. It will not happen. Completely different time zone. Alright, they said, Eerie said, yeah, is that his name? Eerie or Irie? I'm not too sure. He said himself, right? It's not going to happen, ever, alright? And that's it. Oh, wait. Well, one more thing. One last thing before I end this video, right? J-Man said in his video that he's sick and tired of the fairy tale friendship punch. And I'm thinking, where's this fairy tale friendship punch? I was really, I mean, where's this punch? Where is it? So I decided to go arc by arc. And I'm like, okay. In the first arc, the main character, that Win guy, he gets beat legit by Natsu. No friendship punch. No, he gets beat legit. The second thing, the whole entire thing with Phantom Lord. Well, Natsu beat Gagio. That was legit. And also, what happened was that basically, the leader of Phantom Lord was fucking shit up. He was fucking shit up. He was disgusting. And then Master Makarov came in, Fairy Law. I'm like, yo, he came here to like defend his shit, and he did it well. So no. The whole entire Jalal thing with the Ethereon, that was Natsu ate the Ethereon, got a power up, and then beat Jalal. Where's the friendship punch? And then we go into the next arc, I believe is the Luxus thing. Luxus beat the shit out of them. Luxus beat the shit. What? Fairy Tail lost to one man. No, to like 4 guys. Luxus was a monster. He went in there, fucked shit up. Thunder, Dragon, Roar all the way. They lost. It's just that Luxus didn't have the heart to kill them and realize his own mistakes. So where are you going with this? There was no friendship punch there. Edelos was a 3-on-1, alright? 3 Dragon Slayers against 1 Mechanical Dragon. 3 Dragon Slayers. Their job as Dragon Slayers is to slay dragons. And they did their job. That fight was so legit. Where's the friendship punch? And then we get into Hades. Hades, the cats destroyed. No. Panther Lily destroyed the king's Hades' heart, and then they beat the shit out of him. And that was it. Where is the friendship punch? Where? I'm like, where's the friendship punch? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, where is the for my friends? Yeah. I'm like, where is it, J-Man? I'm just saying the friendship punch is not really there. I mean, maybe it's hinted at because, you know, like they feel a little bit more motivated because their friends are in danger, which actually happens in so many fucking shonen. Too many shonen, including Reborn. Suna, I gotta protect my friends. Vongle, Double X, Burner, like yeah, I know. It happens in that shit too. So no. The only time friendship anything occurs is the friendship barrier, which is complete bullshit. It's bullshit. Alright, it's bullshit. But other than that, actually, the Fairy Tail is actually in my opinion, actually a pretty good series. Until the only bad things are the 7-year time jump and the friendship barrier, and that's it. That's it. Oh yeah, by the way, the mythology of Edelos and the dragons is foreshadowed in Acnologia and the parallel universe Misgun / Jalal. So yeah, right there. Okay, that being said, people, this is my response. This is my video. This is my defense. The king has stated his claims to Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is legit. This shit is good. Thumbs up if you. I mean, again, this is all my opinion, but this is the reason why I prefer Fairy Tail over him and Reborn. I'm not saying that Reborn's a bad series. No, it's just that in my opinion, Reborn is subpar, and Fairy Tail is actually pretty solid, like pretty good. So that's my take on this. What I said, most of it was true. Some of it is opinion based, but yeah, for the most part, that's the way it is. And then some of it, and then some of it is like my preference. But other than that, yeah, that's my take on this. Now this is the way it's gonna work. Now I'm gonna make my video a response to fuck me. I'm gonna make my video a response to UberBlackman, And then so if anyone's gonna post a video response on my video, then like it'll be like a chain where like he'll watch my video, then like he'll see like other response videos on my video. So yeah. So anyway, that being said, I'll take any video responses from anyone, the Reborn side, the Fairy Tale side, doesn't matter. And also, what's gonna happen is that if you have any hurtful, if you say anything hurtful, anything offensive, if you go off topic. Like if you decide to make a bleach rant in the comment section below, I will either remove your comment or I'll block you. So no, because this is going to be strictly Reborn and Fairy Tale. So that being said, King of Lightning, rate, comment, subscribe, all for fun, no hate, no wars. All right, we're gonna do more of these. The next one I think should be Yu Yu Hakusho versus Kenshin. So that being said, you guys, check it out. Check out other people's videos on the Reborn side, on the Fairy Tale side, whatever, and that's it. So that's it. Fairy Tale for the win. Fairy Tale for the win. Yeah.